The vet that Miss Shan did bring Matthew 19.
Good morning, Auburn. My name is Robert Wilkins. It's a beautiful, cool day on the plains of Auburn. This is our 10th edition of Citizens Minutes. Quote of the month is from President Ronald Reagan back in 1965. He said, "Government is like a baby, an alimentary canal with a big appetite at one end and no responsibilities on the other end." We had two citizens that spoke during the citizens' communication concerning the cultural center and Northwest Corridor, and access to it would be a case of pride in the community. We had three citizens speak during the Citizens Open Forum. First citizen spoke on a simple proposed exemption clause to Ordinance 3288. The second citizen addressed the two-tier justice system in Auburn. And the third citizen spoke on addressing the property on VFW Road.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mayor and City Council and officials. I'm Stephen Falk, address 576 Martin Luther King Drive here in Auburn, Alabama. I serve as pastor of Auburn AME Zion Church and presiding elder of the Opelika District for the AME Zion Church. I'm here to thank you for all that you do first, and to thank you for being progressively minded. I'm also wanting to thank you in advance and for always promoting inclusion, diversity, and equality for all people. As I stand here tonight, I also thank you for your promise and commitment to provide the cultural center in the Northwest Corridor. Everyone should exemplify a sense of pride about their community. And the sense of pride causes us to take care of our neighborhood and promote its well-being. And having access to the cultural center in the Northwest Auburn Corridor would allow parents and community leaders to teach the wonderful history of all of the people in Auburn and thereabout. The Culture Center will also expose some of the hopeless children to an opportunity to dream and work toward realities, thereby also reducing crime. The Cultural Center promotes a spirit of unity and family as we teach the well-being of our community and history. So tonight I'm here to advocate and to thank you for not allowing cost or any of those things which could possibly be conversation to affect your ability to provide this opportunity to advance our community with this cultural diversity and inclusion. We want to make sure that the community and the children have an opportunity to learn and experience their history, thereby promoting that spirit of pride that will cause them to continue to do the great work that you are working to promote and do today as we continue to move forward. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Who'll be next?
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Mayor and Councilwoman. My name is Doris Talbot Hutchison. I live at 606 Spencer Avenue here in Auburn. I've been here 75 years and I've seen a lot of changes in Auburn, and everything's been pretty positive. I've been here, and I'm to talk about the Museum and Culture Center. and it will be a much needed and welcome addition to our community as well as the city of Auburn. It will be beneficial for generations to come. It will be a place of pride, like Reverend Falk stated, and it will show our children what good citizenship is all about, because we have generations of people that contributed to Auburn community. Like I said, I've been here 75 years, and I've seen a lot of changes, but all of them been positive. Anything, even in the 60s, when we asked for something for our community, we didn't have a lot of pushback because we didn't have a Bull Corner community. We've always kind of come together as a group of Auburn citizens to make things better for the citizens of Auburn. And I'm a proud member of citizen of Auburn. And we need to have a center that can show our children that you don't have to stay where you are to progress. We have they need to know that Dr. Keith Black grew up on Lincoln Street in the Summer Hill community, and he's the most renowned neurosurgeon there is in the United States today. So any little boy, a little girl that came from Auburn, they have done great things, and we need to let them know that. We can't point to a lot of things because a lot of our neighborhoods have disappeared. Draketown is gone. Backline is gone. Thank God Spencer Avenue community is still there. So we have, and I have a friend that's 92 years old. His mom used to own the Tasty Shop. A lot of y'all don't remember the Tasty Shop. But he's so excited about the museum, he's been digging up stuff that his mama had at the Tasty Shop. And so we just need this. This is a source of pride for us and the citizens of Auburn. So please don't let money stop us from doing what we need to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive, Auburn. Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. I'm going to talk about an exemption clause that should be added to Ordinance 3288 short-term rental. It's a simple one. It says any homeowner who can do the following: bringing proof of homestead exemption document allows any homeowner to have short-term rental, STR, within any zone of the City of Auburn. Note, this will not cover any individuals, businesses, or corporations that have multiple STR homes in the City of Auburn. Example, the situation on Payne Street would have never occurred if you had this clause. They had multiple homes. Also, we get rid of the convoluted zoning that exists in the City of Auburn while allowing fair treatment of Auburn citizens. The City of Auburn had no data concerning individual homeowners, STR, because all of us in our neighborhood in the City of Auburn, we made sure that there was no problem that existed. But we were the ones that got punished. Most citizens were not even aware that the STR citizens were doing short-term rental. It is that the Ordinance 3288 to be fair to all citizens. Ordinance 3288 created winners and losers instead of having fairness of all citizens. The Auburn City Council should never approve any ordinance that are impossible to enforce, that are unfair to many citizens. Example, there are many individuals like citizens at the corner of Virginia Street and Gay Street who have been violating Ordinance 3288 for 42 months. From the STR standpoint, renters are confronted with STR. They can just say they're cousins or friends of the homeowner. Nothing else the city can do. Also, Ordinance 3288 STR says 2 or more persons residing in a single dwelling unit where all members are related, plus 1 unrelated person. Example, any person is such as 3 unrelated LBGTT plus friends, 2 single families, 3 or more construction workers, or 3 Auburn students, etc., are violating Ordinance 3288 and can be fined up to $500 and jail time. I see this law broken daily while making my Uber Eats deliveries. There are hundreds of groups and families in the zoned areas that do not abide by the short-term rentals or abide by family definition. So let me go over it again. Exempt clause, Ordinance 3288 short-term. Any homeowner who can do the following: bring proof of homestead exemption documents allows any homeowner to have short-term rentals, STR, within any zone in the City of Auburn. This is fair. This is something you should consider. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Susan Bolt, 1188 East University Drive. I want to circle back and address the two-tier justice system that I discussed at the last city council meeting. During that meeting, I stated that there was a house owned by the mayor's campaign manager when the proper title was his campaign consultant. The mayor attempted to divert the attention from the relationship when it would have been easy just for him to admit it. If you will remember, I did not mention any names when referring to the house in question, yet the mayor knew exactly who I was speaking about. The house in question is owned by his campaign consultant, yet we are led to believe that the city can't issue an appropriate citation on this property. If you will remember, I exposed this location, had received a citation before, but it was given to a guest from Louisiana instead of the local property owner. Then I was told that the city can't find anybody there when they go by, yet I was able to walk up and photograph and speak to them personally. Mayor, with the campaign disclosure records, Facebook post, your campaign logo on his website and such, why were you trying to be deceptive? Why didn't you just clarify that you had a relationship with this man? Let me be clear. I don't have a problem with any short-term rentals anywhere in the city. What I have a problem with is the two-tier justice system perpetuated in the city of Auburn. To address another statement that was made during last council meeting, I was speaking about the mayor and his conflict of interest and the fact that he should have recused himself from the vote on Ordinance 3288. The city manager mentioned that the hotel location had been approved approximately 1 year before passage of 3288. While that may be correct, let's address the timeline. Conditional use approval was first passed May of 2020. Ordinance 3288 passed March 2021. An extension of conditional use for the hotel was passed June of 2021. As I stated last meeting, construction of the hotel did not start until after the passage of Ordinance 3288. That's just fact. Coincidence? I don't think so. If you are a casual observer to the city council meetings, you might be easily confused by comments like those by the mayor and the city manager. The mayor sold his family property to build a hotel. The mayor met with hotel owners in March of 2021. One day after the meeting, 3288 was passed. The mayor should have recused himself from the vote on 3288, which would have denied a majority vote and passage. Construction did not begin until after the passage of Ordinance 3288. As you can see by the facts that I again laid out, my original statement was and is true. Shame on you, Mayor, and shame on you, City Council, for not fixing this mess. You have an ordinance that can't be enforced and one where the City of Auburn unconstitutionally spies on its citizens when there never really was a problem to begin with.
My name is Reginald Perry. I want to,
Address again, Mr. Perry.
Reginald Perry, 1518 VFW Road.
Okay.
Now, I had correspondence with, I think, Scott Cummings and you, Mr. Mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to address is the property across the street from my mother is 1571 VFW Road. I can't seem to find anything that states that someone owns it, other than someone paying taxes on it. So there's no deed on it. Now, Scott gave me NC 14, which is a zoning law. So I discovered that I'm not sure if he's telling me that we can build anything we want there, or there's something about how that construction is being done. I asked him for a permit. He said we don't need a permit. I thought anytime you build something, you need a permit. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, I think there's an issue with that property and the zoning and our neighborhood. So we don't want to lose our neighborhood. According to what the lady said on Spencer, right? She said she lives on Spencer. The back line is gone. Drake Town is gone. So what we're looking at now is look like gentrification to me. I don't know, but hey, I could be wrong. I don't do politics. I'm a soldier, so you know, I just like the mission. So I'm thinking that we should probably look into how that property is being sold. Because I don't know who owns it, but yet they're building on it. It says it's in Cecil Day's name. I think Cecil Day is dead. So how can you be selling something when you're dead, and how can you not probate it before you sell it? So I'm not sure what they're doing over there across the street, but I think you guys should look into that. Now, who owns that area? Which ward is that?
That's me.
So that's you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you guys see that, right? This Max, right? He's in Ward 7. So we probably need to address that. I'm not going to be able to come down here every week and talk about this. I don't live here, but on behalf of my neighborhood, we need to try to figure out how we can preserve that neighborhood because of just what she said. The back line is gone. Draketown is gone. So maybe we should try to figure out a way to zone that so it can be historical land, so that you cannot build something $600,000 across the street from the houses that are 1,800 square feet. So I think we probably want to look at that and address that in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because if we don't, we're going to lose that neighborhood, which you guys don't call it a neighborhood. That's right, it's not zoned like it is. So you call it land, so you can build anything you want on a piece of land. So if you put a historical view on it,
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
I think we can get a resolution.
Thank you.
Auburn's voice was asked a question from Richard. Richard asked, why did the Auburn City Council not comment on your proposed exemption clause to short-term rental at the last council meeting? The Auburn Council usually has comments about most things you say, Robert, but not when you propose a potential solution to help those that needed the most with Ordinance 3288 short-term rental. Richard, that is an excellent question. I've been thinking the same thing. Forgive me for this long answer I'm fixing to give you. I believe it's like getting up every morning and you do the same mundane routine. This council thinks that spending 29 months on Ordinance 3288, crossing all the T's, was enough, but they forgot their duty to the Auburn citizen is to support all the people, especially the 151 plus Auburn families encompassing over 450 people who were ignored at the expense of some council members worrying more about their election from the older and richer citizens. One member having a lack of understanding of the issue while just following the lead of another member, while another member fulfilling the promise of a friend instead of fulfilling the oath that they made to the citizens of Auburn. It is sad that I have to continue the conquest, but I made an oath when I became a naturalized U.S. citizen that I would uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Really intrigues me is this idea, and I heard it many, many years ago. I'm not even sure of the original source where I heard it, but it goes like this. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Wayne W. Dyer was an internationally renowned author. Over his 4 decades of his career, he wrote more than 40 books, including 21 New York Best Time seller. Dyer was affectionately called the father of motivation by his fans. Please make comments or become a guest speaker on Citizens Minutes by going to nextdoor.com or youtube.com. Next council meeting is at 6 p.m. on October the 15th, which is, by the way, today at 141 Ross Street. You should show up or watch on YouTube or listen to WANI radio. Your council is only as good as the information that you gather.